Hey, what's going on, Nashville Fit fam? We are back with another live health panel for the Nashville Fit magazine. So listen, we have a great group today. We're going to start this party off with some quick introductions, okay? Now, I want you guys, once I say your names, or not even guys, I'm sorry, I got to be PC. I forgot. My wife's in HR. I want you ladies, I'm the only, guys, I'm going to hold it down for us, okay? I want you ladies, when I say your names, give us a brief bio of who you are and what you do, and then we'll jump into all of the questions. We're going to start, of course, with Miss Kara Clark. Tell me who you are. Welcome, Kara.
Thanks for having me. I am an integrative nutritionist. I practice integrative health, mind, body, and spirit, teaching people that foundation starts with food, but the collective body works together. I have a book, Feel Good Way. I forgot to bring it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I run a membership community, which I say is my fifth child. We have about 1,000 members, and we just met right before this, actually, talking about sleep and hormones and the food tricks to improve sleep and weight loss.
So our whole goal today is to make the complex simple. I always tell people, don't overcomplicate what's made to be simple. That's my goal for today, is in a world where everyone tries to talk over your head to make you buy into whatever it is that they're doing, let's make it simple so people can really dissect and figure out what they need to do to truly be their best selves. So Kristen, up next is Miss Kristen Oja. Did I say that right?
Oja.
Oja. See,
close. Very close.
My Dominican side. I'm just playing.
It's hard. It's hard.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Quick bio.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kristen. I'm so happy to be here. I'm the CEO and founder of STAT Wellness, and it stands for Strength to Achieve Total Wellness. We're the nation's first medicine and movement practice, and we like to say we do modern healthcare. So we're a one-stop wellness shop. We have 5 locations in Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina, and we just hit 10,000 patients. So, and about 55 employees.
Yeah,
so
and
it's fun.
I have to say that we're actually filming inside of STAT right now, and it's a beautiful location. This is the Nashville location, also the largest location. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
2 stories.
Out of how many locations?
5.
5 locations. Where are they?
Mm-hmm. So we have Atlanta, Roswell, and Peachtree City in Georgia, and then Charleston and Nashville.
Love it.
And Charlotte's coming next. So if anybody is in the Charlotte area, stay tuned.
Nashville is the best, right?
Nashville.
Okay, I just want to make sure we said that.
No, we literally are like, we shouldn't even get an Airbnb. We should just blow up a mattress.
Just sleep in here, right? We got some beautiful furniture out here.
Yes.
Yeah. And so last but definitely not least is Miss Lanisa Williams. Did I say that right?
You said it.
There we go. All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, a little bit about me, and I love the fact that you said, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just a tour guide of your sales.
Yeah, I love that.
That's really what it is. I'm a holistic health practitioner, a certified juice therapist, as well as a microscopist.
Yeah,
and
so I wasn't even going to try to say that word. I saw it, and I was like, nope, I'm going to let you rock that. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No. And it's funny that I'm even sitting in this seat. Coming from a family eating everything from the rooter to the tutor, literally eating it. And even with my own self having a speech impediment and I have dyslexia. So when I pause to say, Lord, what do you really need me to do? And all I heard was, Lanisa, look at the cellular level. We've got to really stop guessing what's going on and really seeing what's going on. And so I'm a part of a group called Total Package Health and Wellness. And that's what we do. We start with a microscope. We sit in front. We do live and dry blood analysis. From that, we help verify and say, hey, yes, this is what the nutrition is saying. This is what you need to keep doing. And then we pair you with the supplements as well as with modalities to help you feel good and look good in 90 days. I have 3 locations. I have 2 in Memphis, Tennessee. We have a little small boutique, a little med spa, and then we have a resort. And we just opened up here in Nashville.
Wow.
So
where are you here in Nashville?
Out in Antioch, off of Murfreesboro Pike.
Okay.
You see, I'm still trying to get out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be in Memphis this weekend. Are you open on Saturday?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Well, come on. Yes, please let me know.
She's like, am I open? Yes. Well, I'll be there. Probably not.
I hear you, girl. I hear you.
So we want to make the most of our time and really kind of take a deep dive as lightly as possible into what functional health actually is. So I would love to hear from each of your perspectives, how would you define functional health?
Go in order? You want me to
We can go in
first?
order, or whoever wants to talk first. Yeah.
So to us, functional health is really looking at the whole person and how our system works as one and really understanding the root imbalances of what's going on. And we actually put a lot of emphasis on the foundation. So this is perfect. We want to keep it simple because we can't out supplement our nutrition, our sleep, our stress, our relationships. I always joke the next business I open is going to be called the Happiness Project because the longer I've worked with people, the longer I've realized how unhappy we are in the United States.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole body approach.
I love that.
Yeah, and when you're serving the whole body from a functional perspective. So I always say integrative just because I really do mind, body, spirit work a lot more than I do like functional labs. And I like to look at things from a root cause perspective. So a lot of times when I get into it with a client or my members, they're talking about, how they grew up. It always goes back. They build this chronological chart of how they grew up, and we can start touching on that, rebuilding the nervous system so that food acclimates a lot easier because you can't digest and absorb food with a whacked out nervous system. So getting the body into a parasympathetic state before it even eats, like driving home that eating hygiene. Am I sitting? Am I relaxed? Am I not drinking anything? Building into, this optimal integrative system of nervous system, micronutrients, and well-being.
I'm going to pause right there before you go. Talk to me about eating without drinking. And I'm asking from a personal standpoint because my grandmother used to make me finish my food before I had anything to drink. And that could be because it was juice and she knew it was going to ruin my appetite. Or she was just being mean and didn't want me to have juice. So I want to know from a science. So I can call her later.
Grandma.
So I can call her later and say, hey, Grandma, listen. No, from a science perspective, talk to me about why it's important to eat without drinking.
Yeah, so when somebody comes to me with digestive issues, they always want to know what they should take to make their food work better. And I'm like, let's talk about what you shouldn't do. So keeping water and any fluids 20 minutes away from food helps the body to produce the stomach enzyme or the stomach acids and the enzymes that it needs without being diluted. So when we're adding in water is a neutral pH and for some people alkaline, not my preference. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. It's going to dilute the acid. So we want the acid to be acidic when the food goes down so the body can break down using the acids that it produces. So yeah,
Gotcha.
Your grandma was right. That was not mistreatment.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But I grew up where you sat down with your water or your milk, and you were supposed to drink with your meal, not only finish the food, but finish your drink too.
Yeah, it was there. We just couldn't touch it till the food was gone. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Right. Here's your dessert.
Right. We'll talk about that in therapy later. No, I'm just like, Miss Lanissa, talk to me about how would you define functional health?
When I look at functional health, I immediately have to look at myself. And I say that in my community, guys, we are taught that you just follow what you are being told. And what we are being told is killing my community. Okay. And so when you understand that you have to put knowledge behind it and as well as showing individuals that it does not run. For example, when I lost my mom at 56 years young, I thought my mom walked on water. In the Black community, if you're successful, nothing can happen to you. You got wealth. My mom had her PhD in education, her real estate license, her construction license, owned her own construction company, had a restaurant, and did a little Amway on the side.
Come on now, Amway.
My mom did Amway too. Yeah.
Amway. I probably have some stuff here now from Amway. But here she is being this pillar of light and dying very young. And I knew I was set on that same pathway because hypertension, high blood pressure, all of that runs in the family. And it wasn't until God just really said, Lanissa, no, it doesn't run in your family. It runs in your kitchen.
Yeah.
And I need you to get educated, get to understanding that there's other ways to live and have what is complete wellness. And so wellness is a mind, body, and soul. And so really my thing is I start with the mind. We have so many gimmicky things in our community. And I just, only thing way I can speak from the Black community.
Yeah, give me a couple of those.
Well, gimmicky. Let's get on a juice diet.
Yeah. Yeah, come on now.
Being a certified juice therapist, I love juicing.
Yeah.
I don't like TikTok juicing.
Yeah.
TikTok juicing is not juicing, y'all.
Yeah.
What goes in your juice matters. Can it reset you at the cellular level? Yes, it can. But if you don't have the mindset to understand why you're doing and what you're doing, it means nothing. So it all goes. So we do programs to reset the mind. Then we talk about the nutrition. And then we say, hey, if you need some individuals to pair up, because that accountability piece is not there. So functioning, that's what I kind of think about. When
I love that. And I want to talk about, and this will kind of like lead us into our next couple of questions anyway. The buzzword right now is optimal, right? That is what everyone is shooting for. I want to know your thoughts on, one, the word optimal in the fitness and wellness community, and then also, what does that mean? If you guys could kind of just give your opinions on what that is.
Can I jump
Please,
in?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Optimal. The minute individuals come and sit in my seat, the first thing they ask me is, you gonna take me off of meat, Lenise, aren't you? And I'm like, looking at them like, that's not why you're sitting here. I want you to become the best version of yourself, not for just a season, but for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And as a lifetime, there's no optimal. There's not. Every season, you all, as you know, that you all have really degrees to say everything. You've got to continue to keep growing. So if you hold yourself to one standard, you're going to always miss the target.
Yeah.
And so optimal is, to me, a lifestyle. You've got to continually grow. So quit trying to think you're going to jump in and you're going to be a vegan overnight. You're not. Just know how to detox if you're going to eat some stuff.
Okay. All right.
That's fair. I actually tell my community 15 minutes of detox a day. Like we're so focused on an hour of exercise a day, but like, can you get a detox bath? Can you get red light therapy? Can you get it sauna? Can you do this stuff on a daily basis? Because we're being inundated with electromagnetic fields and social media, like technology and all of that. It's not just the food and the people and all that, but optimal for me is metabolic health. So I'm looking at somebody in their labs based on like how the food they're eating is working for them. I can tell this by obviously from a range perspective, from their glucose, their A1C, their insulin, their triglycerides, and there's a couple other measurements of this. So there's a way to look at the clinical side of optimal, but I called my book The Feel Good Way, because every single person, like you're saying, the bar resets every day. My ring resets every day. It doesn't matter how good I did yesterday. I still have to do it again today, right? So how do you feel? Like that one assessment that is so true is how we feel.
I love that. Yeah.
And I'll add how much we're normalizing illness in the United States. So an example of this, when I first started practicing in 2011, C-reactive proteins, which is a marker of inflammation in labs, our reference range was 0 to 5. That's what normal was with CRP or inflammation. Well, we plot everybody's labs on a bell curve and we say this 2% is abnormal, this 2% is abnormal. So this 96% is what we're going to put as our reference range for everyone. Do you guys know what the CRP range is now from 2011 to 2025?
Higher now.
The range is now 0 to 10.
Yeah.
So you get your primary care, you come to functional medicine and you are like, hey, I want to check my inflammation. Your C-reactive protein could come back at 8 and that is normal.
Send you home.
So yes. So we are normalizing a lot of the standard American diseases, the standard American diet. And so we really view optimal as, hey, let's not settle for what is considered normal now, because we are getting sicker as a culture. So optimal to us is looking at our health differently. And our slogan is wellness feels good. And because you're exactly right. When I ask my patients, I'm like, well, how do you feel? They look at me like I'm deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, have you paid attention? Like, how's your energy? How's your mental clarity? How's your digestion?
Rather than telling you how they feel.
How they feel. We're not used to reflecting on that. So I love that you do that.
So I'm gonna play. I hate the word devil's advocate, but I'm gonna play the other side. I'm gonna play the other side is what I'll say, and I'll say is it becoming? Are we accepting the norm because it's actually normal now? Does that make sense? So because more people are unhealthy, let's find the healthiest unpeople and we measure on that. If the whole class fails the test, right? If the whole class fails the test and I say, and the teacher says I'm grading on a curve, then we take the highest D. Right? And then we're gonna and that's how it is.
That's what's happening in labs.
So it's the normal now in America unhealthy. And so now what we're doing is saying, okay, since everybody's unhealthy, everybody's obese now, everybody's overweight now, let's take the healthiest of those people.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening in reference ranges and labs. But I think there is a huge movement. Obviously, we're all sitting here. People are tired of feeling bad. And that's what's so great, that there's places you can go now that recognize the absence of disease is not health, right? So maybe you haven't been diagnosed with 15, hypertension yet, or hyperlipidemia or hypothyroidism, but you don't feel good. And that, to me, I care just as much about, right?
I definitely want to jump in on that.
Yeah.
Because this is why I love what I do. Again, we can hear about it, we can talk about it, but when I sit you in front of a television screen and you see your blood, you don't deny that I just prick your finger and you can see at the cellular level where you see the protein leakage, where you see the parasites, where you see the dehydration. And it forces an individual to say, oh, I can't excuse this away, even though the chart said I was okay. For example, I was doing a speaking event for a real estate company, talking about juicing, because usually individuals want to start with the juicing. Okay, let's start there. All right. So a young lady said, hey, I just want to do a juice. Now, reason she said she just wanted to do the juice outside of doing a live blood analysis, because she was very thin. And she was assuming, I'm thin, I'm in good health, I don't need anything. I said, I would love to do a blood analysis on you first. Guys, that blood was horrible. When I tell you toxic, it was toxic on toxic. I said, first of all, are you drinking water? Oh, I drink about 2 ounces a day.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Literally.
Right. Yeah.
2 ounces a day. And she was proud to say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get my water in.
And she could see it. Thank God she heard just that shift. Within the next 2 weeks, she started drinking water. Guys, she called me. I was calling her to pick up her juice. She said, Lanisa, I think just because of your water, you saved me from having a stroke. Wow. She went in, she was cooking, and all of a sudden she passed out. Wow. And she was having a blood clot. And they said, what have you been doing? And they said, it's great that you've been intaking your water. Yeah. So I believe if I could just sit everyone down to see it. I know my community. And and again, that's why we in the hood. And we glad to be in the hood. And I say it all the time, because we are individuals that says thick is all right. It look good. We got the booty popping and stuff. But you're dying. As the
booty's right.
Right. Exactly, girl. Come on now. And so when you understand that, you've got to make a difference. You can either deuce out what you just saw, or you need to say, what small changes can I start taking today?
So I have a question for you. And any of you feel free to answer, because I think in this department, you're more educated than I am. Okay. I am not anti-juicing, but I don't think it is the end-all, be-all. Here's why. If you have a functioning liver and kidney, you don't need to detox. That's what your body's already doing. If you naturally just increase your water intake, then your kidneys and livers will handle that for you. I would love to hear you guys expound on that.
Okay, great question. All right, do you have to juice? No. Are you going to have to do something? Yes. Most people are not getting the right water. The right water is H3O water. Okay. And that comes from our fruits. And so when I can see at a cellular level, when you're really having some digestive issues, when I can see that you've got rulu, when I see that, I can see that you've got some parasites, I want to reset your gut so quickly. And juicing does that. Juicing in 15 minutes, I can legitimately, if I prick your finger and look up into the microscope and we can look at everything, and I let you juice and do the same prick in 15 minutes, I can see your red blood cells.
15 minutes later.
15 minutes later. And I even added alkaline water to that 15 minutes later. And you could still see the red blood cells starting to repair themselves. So what I say with juicing, do juicing as a hard reset. How do I reset? Like we unplug when we have a computer that goes down. What do they say? Pull it out the plug, turn everything off. Well, God wants us to do a hard reset to the gut. If I can reset you, that's when you can then start seeing things that your body needs.
Love it.
And you can at that point, then I'm a juicer. I'm an avid juicer because I
Yeah.
know I don't get enough nutrients
Okay.
in. Okay. But if you think you can get enough the other way,
Okay.
okay.
I think
Yeah,
too,
I'm just
to your point,
I'm ready
of,
to give you guys both my baby.
right. When we leave
Like,
here,
take 'em.
each of you take an arm,
Thanks.
And then report
We're
back,
going
please.
live on this.
Let's go.
Well, I wanted to elaborate on your point about how we should be detoxing well. And there's two things we find a lot of our patients don't do on a daily basis to detox. And so, for us, juicing, salads, smoothies, fiber, whatever it may be, it's all helpful. But we always talk about, one, are you having a daily bowel movement? Because so much of the United States is constipated,
Yep.
right? They think it's normal to have a bowel movement every other day.
Yeah.
That is one of the most important ways of detoxing. And two, are you sweating? And a lot of our patients are not moving, they're not exercising, they're not sweating. So, I think all of the strategies are so important, but physiologically, if we're not pooping and we're not sweating, we're not detoxing well.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
it. You're not detoxing.
You're not detoxing. So what do you need to do to get there?
Gotcha. So, I mean,
Well,
I think,
can I add
no,
one
please,
thing?
yeah.
Because I focus on the whole drainage pathway system, and it starts at the cell, right? So what she's doing is saying, I'm going to the top, I'm talking to the mitochondria, and
There
I'm
you
going to
go,
work the
girl.
way down. So then we have the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
There
So
you
these
go.
two are the most ignored pieces of the
That's it.
entire detox system. And for women, our bodies are just way more freaking intrinsic.
There you go.
So we go on this 28-day adventure every month, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And people haven't detoxed what they needed to do. And so what I'm seeing is through perimenopause and menopause especially, and after like having a baby, the system is so out of whack between the lymphatic, the cell, the nervous system kind of controls all of that too, because cell. And the water we're drinking isn't getting through the cell. And so the very top, cell mitochondria, but we're drinking purified or, whatever water that doesn't have the sodium to cross the cell barrier.
Trace minerals.
And then I'm seeing with women, the lymphatic system is what we see changing. And what's underneath that all is parasites, bacteria, viruses, which arguable.
right.
We're not going there.
Yeah, that's a whole
conspiracy.
No, you're right, and that's why I love what I do, y'all.
Yeah.
When you
And I want to say
understand
something
it.
too about your community. You keep talking about, and I appreciate that so much. My brother-in-law grew up inner city, foster care, and I introduced him to AIP, which is an anti-inflammatory protocol. Super skinny guy, like super athletic, always been in shape. Vata body type, if you're familiar with Ayurvedic. So like by looking at him, you wouldn't know that he was way out of order metabolically. He did AIP for 3 months and he was like, I want to tell my entire community to do this because I thought my IBS was normal. So going back to optimal, we get used to our crap.
Yeah.
We get used to our symptoms and we justify them. So he was like, I have been alive for 43 years. Nobody's ever taught me how to do this. I feel the best I've felt my entire life, and I need to take this to my community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's jump into that. I would ask the question, what is the difference between healthcare and sick care? And how do we keep that from that information from becoming overwhelming?
I can talk through like the medical training. So I have my bachelor's, master's, and doctorate in nursing. So I'm a family nurse practitioner. So not traditional med school, but a lot of education. And through my master's and my doctorate, even my dissertation, we're taught what is the right medication for the symptom. So when you go into a primary care model, we would treat 30, 40 patients a day. And our mind is constantly working, what is the right treatment for the symptom? Treatment for the symptom. What is the protocol? Okay, they have high blood pressure. What's the right medication I should go on first? They're depressed, right medication. They have insomnia, right medication, right? That is sick care. We are being reactive and we're matching the right treatment to the symptom. Functional medicine and what all of us do here is, well, how can we think differently? Why are we having the symptom in the first place? And to us, that is healthcare, right? Like if we're only reacting, we're not making anybody healthier. We might be making them feel better, but they're not on a cellular level getting healthier. And so I think we're fantastic in sick care in the U.S., and I'm actually incredibly honored to live in the U.S. with our sick care system. Mm-hmm. If I ever need open heart surgery, if I ever get diagnosed with cancer and I'm open to traditional care, we have a lot of scientific advancements, and I'm grateful for that. It's all sick care.
Well, even like proximity of hospitals and stuff like that. You know, I have athletes and sports injuries, God forbid. I'm always so grateful for the sick care opportunity here, like you're saying. But from a food perspective, people like used to go to a nutritionist because they want to lose weight. Well, why did you gain the weight in the first place? You know, so from a conventional to versus functional, they are told like eat less, eat at a calorie deficit, but they're not really, that's really just a Band-Aid approach. Really, they have to change the metabolic way that the body handles food rather than cutting out potentially valuable nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we have got to get to a place that individuals understand that this world, and I'm trying to pace my words, is built on paying someone.
Capitalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. We can use
I'm
that
not
word.
trying to disappear.
We can use that word. It's okay.
Right? I'm not trying to disappear tomorrow. Y'all.
Yeah, right.
Somebody happened to Lanisa. Where did you
right.
go? Right? Y'all come on,
we
for
got
real.
it on tape. It's okay.
We're in
we'll
that
find
place.
you. Yeah.
If we could, and this is what I love the space that I am in, community. I work with a group called Community Corner, and it's for total wellness. We've got to start educating individuals in every place about wellness instead of being reactive. Mm-hmm. And we've been living in a world that's been reactive. For example, wellness means for me to go and teach a little girl how to garden again. Mm-hmm. We've forgotten that. Only garden they know is to run to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And as you know, that's not the best place to go. And as well, with the programs, how they're being done right now, all those unhealthy foods are being snatched from the SNAP programs. Mm-hmm. So how do I teach somebody who's used to sick care to understand wellness? Yeah. How do I show you that average mom how to sit down and do a balanced meal, not thinking that, oh, well, this is what I've been told on the FDA food chart to say, well, do we really want to believe the FDA food chart? Because the FDA food chart may be sending you back to care.
Yeah. Right. Well, and the wellness space feels like affluent, and like you have to have money to be able to access it. And so my question always goes back to like, how do we make it more accessible?
So it's crazy that you said that, because I was going to say that to your point, right? It's and please feel free to chime in, but it is easier if I have a family to feed my family cheaper options when I can go to McDonald's and get a $1.99 hamburger, or I can pay $8.99 for a salad. Mm-hmm. Which one are you going to go with? I'm probably going to go with the thing that's going to keep me fuller longer, even though I know I should be eating the salad. Every time someone sits in front of you, say, I know what I should be doing. Mm-hmm. I know I shouldn't be doing X, Y, Z, but here are my options, especially in our community, because the only thing, if you look at Nashville, Antioch, there's nowhere healthy to eat in Antioch. Mm-hmm. It's all fast food, right? So if you look at that versus if you come further into the city, across the street, we have a vegan restaurant. We have, different health places there. So when you look at, even access to health, to your point, right? How do we provide the knowledge and the care so that it's not overwhelming when I come in and I get my finger pricked, or I do labs, and you say, hey, here's all the things that's going on with you right now, right? How do we keep that part simple?
I'll add my favorite quote, but it's little by little, a little becomes a lot. Mm-hmm. And I always tell patients, better is better. So any little step you can do is getting you in the right direction. Our goal is not, let's meet one time and change everything in your life. I think we all have worked with patients. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. Mm-hmm. So I think number one, just remember little by little, little becomes a lot. The healthier option you make is a healthier option, and celebrate that. I think a lot of us don't kind of celebrate the wins along the way. I just want to add like a side note. It's kind of two things. One, we really believe you're going to pay for your health at one point, right?
Yep.
So it's either making the decision, pay a little bit more on some better quality food, or you're going to pay a little bit more on medication or hospital visits or urgent care, right? Like we are going to have to pay at some point. So what path do you want to choose? I think you should think about that. The second piece is I worked at places prior to opening Stout Wellness where they would come in and they would spend between $5,000 and $10,000 at a new patient visit. And I looked at this and I said, okay, if we're going to really transform healthcare, we can't attract just the 1% to 2% of the United States. And I always acknowledge paying any amount of money for your health is a privilege. I recognize that. Some people don't have a dollar to spare. But we looked at what are people paying for gyms.
But they got a nice purse.
Yeah. Sometimes they really
Just
don't.
kidding. I'm not judging.
Yeah. Sometimes that is the case. And sometimes like, you know, we've worked with some patients that like, whether it's divorce or they're on food stamps or whatever it is, like, I understand it is hard for some people at certain seasons in life, but we looked at what would you pay for a gym membership? And a lot of people are paying $150, $185 a month. And so we built a model for $185 a month where you get unlimited health coaching, you get unlimited dietitians, you get 3 physical therapy appointments, you get 5 functional medicine appointments. And so we're really trying to show the world you can create a model based on health at a cost-effective or approachable price. So it can be done. But being able to pay $185 a month is still, I understand, a privilege for some.
Yeah, but that's really awesome that you saw what was out there and then you built an offering that was potentially available. I mean, there's going to be there's going to be maybe a trade-off. Like you might have to trade going
Starbucks lattes.
Starbucks or like going, I don't know, people don't go to the movies anymore, but you know what I mean? I wanted you to answer that because I feel like you are really giving so much value to your customers. And from my perspective, I'm always like, well, if you can't pay for my programs, well, join us. Like God still wants you here. You don't have to be able to afford it. And then you make little changes. Like you're saying, like you take the meal that is most affordable to you and you repeat it. You make whatever works for your family, you eat in season. Seasonal food is going to be a lot cheaper than out of season food. And then there's a lot of free things like eating dinner earlier helps the body get into a restful state. This is free. Like
going for a walk
after you eat. Like there's a lot of free aspects of health that people are ignoring saying they can't afford.
Yeah.
Well, and I had someone tell me that Chick-fil-A now, like when they go through fast food, they were like, I spend $13 at Chick-fil-A, which felt really high for fast food to me. But Vibrant Meals that's here in Nashville, you can get meals for $9.
Wow.
So, you know, if you're looking at, you know, $13 to go through Chick-fil-A or partner with a local company like Vibrant Meals, get a good quality macro balanced meal for $9, that's cheaper.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I want to share so I had a client, a little Hispanic guy, 9 years old, who him and his mother drove in yesterday, 3.5 hours to do a blood analysis. He's an avid boxer and wrestler, but has an autoimmune issues. Father in California had gone to see a microscopist, sought me out, came here. I'm doing his blood analysis. And as I'm doing the blood analysis, there are a couple of things that I know, and again, I'm going to speak to my community because I understand a poor man's diet, okay? We want to do better, but until we understand what that looks like, you don't know what to do better, how to do it. So clarity is something that we start with. What is clarity? I want individuals to understand no high blood pressure and all that. It's not running your family. It runs in that kitchen. And once I educate you around that understanding and take a simple approach on what to do, then I show you a live visual, because then you can say, wait, my blood, no, it doesn't look like that. And I'm letting you then I can then trust that you would at least take some of the education that you learned and apply it. And so with a 9-year-old little boy sitting there, he left with this, Miss Lanisa, I know I do. I'm eating all this processed food. And I know that's what's making me have hives. Miss Lanisa, I know I'm sweating out all my water. I'm dehydrating and I know how to detox. You taught me 3 ways to detox. Y'all, that's when I get excited, because if we can teach the youth, guess what the youth is going to do? That's how they're going to raise their children. So with Community Corner, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people like you to come and say, how can we go out in our communities? How can we get in the school systems? How can we get to that young adult? People my age, 57, guys, we're not doing that. We eating still. And I'm just being honest. I watch people who sit and look how bad their blood is. And they tell me, well, I can't. I got to eat that pork chop. Well, okay. So
Right.
if I can't educate you, let me get to the kids. And then, of course, I got to go up to the wisdom. And the wisdoms are, and we forget the elderly. We've forgotten the place that the elderly play with wellness in this society, because we think wellness, again, is connected to food. Wellness is a mindset. And elderlies have a lot of wisdom that they can give us, this generation, and to how to really live a life. So it's a total package. It really is. And unfortunately, the poor man diet is winning, because no one wants to pause, because financially, I can't, how do I make it work for my business to educate that group? Well, collectively coming together, we can.
Well, eggs did get expensive. We can.
Eggs are expensive, girl. Eggs really expensive.
You touched on our last two questions. I'm trying to figure out which one of these I want to jump into. I'm going to jump into the fitness one, because that's kind of my realm, and I'm interested to hear. I'm learning a lot. I'm interested to hear what your points are on this. But I'll start with you because it's kind of in your realm. But fitness powered by cellular nutrition. So talk to me about, as an athlete, as an advocate of training like an athlete and looking and feeling like an athlete. What does that look like? What does fitness powered by cellular nutrition look like?
Oof.
Yeah, I woke you up there. There you go. Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you, I love my men that get it, and the first thing that I will send them to is Game Changers. Men, when y'all think about athletes, and can I just be raw?
Please.
Y'all want all that blood flowing.
Yeah, all of it.
And if you want all that blood flowing so that you can pump the weight in every other where you need to.
I wasn't thinking about pumping weight, but
y'all
go ahead. Please, go ahead. Yeah.
It starts in the cellular level.
Okay.
And that's nutritionists. And so when an athlete really wants to change the core of who they've got to change that diet.
Okay.
And it's not something that I guess. I just say, hey, give me 30 days with you.
Okay.
Try this diet.
Okay. And how does that diet look from a regular person diet? What would be the difference in that?
Okay. Well, I believe that we are stuck on the wrong protein.
Okay. Please expound. This is your time. Don't just leave me out there in the cold.
I believe that many of the things that I'm watching my community deal with is because we're eating the wrong types of what we believe has to sustain us, which is pork, red meats, even chicken. Everybody I know is pork, red meat, or chicken. And my first question to them is, why do you eat it? Oh, I got to get the protein. Well, where do they get the protein? And they'll look at me like, huh? I'm like, how did the cows get their protein? Well, Anissa, I think they ate it off the grass. I said, right. I said, when we are getting protein from the middleman, we don't know what's going on in that middleman right now.
We about to go over. I'm going to tell you that now. Y'all got somewhere to go. We about to go over on time.
Okay.
You digging a hole over.
Damn,
I got 10 minutes. This might be the last question right here. I don't know. But here,
Sneak out.
all right. So no, I'm totally joking. I'm gonna wrap it in a second. Right, Terry's blocking the door. So I don't eat pork, right?
Okay.
But we also, from a gastro standpoint, we don't have the internal the intestinal digestion to digest like a gorilla or like a cow or like a chicken. We're built completely different than them. So we can't say, do you know how much protein how much grass or vegetables I would need to eat in order to get the amount of protein that I would need to look like this, right? Like I would never stop eating. So do you know how much a gorilla eats to look like a gorilla looks and have the muscle that he has? It's physically impossible for us to do that, right? They literally eat all day. So I understand your point, but my pushback is, right, I am not a pork eater for various reasons, right? But every other meat I do eat, and I do eat it in probably a substantial amount, right? And I noticed the difference between when I do eat, because I actually went vegan for a little bit. When I was vegan and when I wasn't, right? And I look better, I perform better, I feel better when I have meat in my diet.
Can I add two things?
Please, this isn't like a one-on-one.
Okay.
I promise. Please, this is like an open
So-
floor debate. Please.
So I think, to me, when I look at the science, I think it's less, are we eating animal products? Are we not eating animal products? I think the problem is we don't get enough plants to balance it out. Mm-hmm. So I just want to kind of like flip the script around protein for a second. One, we need 30 grams of fiber a day to help with some of the cholesterol, to help with some of the gut microbiome, some of those issues. I think it's pretty well documented that we should have 30 different plants a week. Mm-hmm. So I always say, like, our patients, I eat meat. I was vegan for 9 years. I'm a flexitarian, but I always get, plants and I always get fiber. So I think that's really important. Whether you eat meat or don't eat meat, I think we all just need plants too.
Yes.
I'm more concerned in the carnivore space. So I'm a plant lover over here. The second piece that I just wanted to make sure we share about the fitness side, we work with a lot of women and men, but women specifically that are having a really hard time building muscle, and they're really working hard on lifting weight. And I would like to talk about carbohydrates for a second, because there is a big fear around carbohydrates. And when I talk with my patients, it's like they've been hit over the head 500,000 times about protein. Yep. And so some of my patients are getting 150 grams of protein a day. And we do like protein.
And they weigh like 100 pounds.
Yeah. But I'm like, you can't build muscle without carbohydrates. Yeah. So we really talk to a lot of our patients about, can we eat some carbs within an hour of working out, where the research tends to be a little bit more of the protein in a 24-hour period. So I think you need protein, and I think you need plants, and we shouldn't be afraid of carbs. That was my 2 cents.
I'm with you 1,000%, because if you eat like an athlete, that's what eating like an athlete would look. And when you talk to whoever, their goal body is usually someone who's athletic looking. Mm-hmm. Right?
I have one thing to add. I have seen an impact based on blood type. So, because I definitely teach macro balancing, but I have some really thriving vegetarians and vegans and only 10%, 90% O blood type, B blood type. It was me. I was a fat vegan, okay? Not really, but you know what I mean. I was a fluffy vegan. I know what you mean. So I do think there's variability, and like you have to look at the whole person. Also, when it comes to like athletic performance, our muscles each have 2 mitochondria per cell, whereas some of our other cells in our body only have 1 mitochondria. So we have to satisfy that cellular need once again with food. And I'm with you guys, balancing it out. That's all I want to add.
And that's where I am.
Yeah.
One thing about, and I want to say this loud, you can eat differently than the average person because you detox it out. When you're in that gym every day, you're sweating.
Okay.
And all that protein that is in excess is coming out. Because the only way you can do it is pee it out, poo it out, or sweat it out.
Sweat it out, yeah.
And typically, our community has a plate load of protein. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to eat.
Yeah.
We're going to eat that protein, and till mama come, to whatever happens. And with that, if you've got to eat that, why is that the only thing? So when I'm shifting, I'm not going to tell you not to eat meat, but I'm going to tell you, let's do 3 ounces. Can we start you there?
Yeah.
Let's don't have it at every meal.
Yeah.
What's the difference in chicken and you eating bison? Let's go. Yeah. Let's really go tit for tat. I'm at educated. So again, I'm not going to put you on a diet.
Yeah.
I want you on a lifestyle.
Yes.
Because the lifestyle is duplicatable.
Yes.
A diet has an end date.
Yeah.
And then how do you feel? Right?
Exactly.
How do you feel?
Always how I am. I'm a mind body. When someone asks me, Lanisa, what do you do? I say, I'm truly a holistic wellness person that's an advocate for that average person, from the blood to the body to the soul.
I love it. Yeah.
Because it all goes together.
I love that. And I want to touch on that, because each one of you said that you hit that your focus is going to be mind, body, soul. So I want to talk about how we can identify very quickly and eliminate like just the daily stressors. I mean, you've all have said in your own words, it's all about how do you feel at the end of the day? How do we identify and also eliminate those daily stressors that come along with just life, and then also trying to get and be healthy?
So I will. One of my second books that I wrote is called Bella Body, and it's a 9-week program that's wrapped around it, based off the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 to 23. When I lost my mom 12 years later, I found myself in the same place. And as a growing up as an athlete, what did I do? I said, let me work out, let me just get on this diet, da, 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 da. And all I heard God tell me very quickly, so you need to put down those worldly tools and pick up a spiritual one. You need to change here first. So it's a 9-week program that truly helps you detox from the inside out. During those 9 weeks, I journaled my process. I went over those 9 weeks without dieting and without exercising. I eliminated over 52 pounds. And I share that not to brag, but I also share it to help individuals to understand when you feel good, you look good. Wherever your mind goes, your body and your life cannot help but to follow. So any client of mine, they go through that 9-week program because I can only have you for 2 or 3 hours, maybe during our consultation. The world has you for your triggers, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to follow up. Boom.
Right. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Exactly.
You don't have to follow up.
I mean, she's right though, and people know that if they want to work with me, that there's going to be some inner healing work that's associated, because I've never seen one person actually heal clinically. Just clinically. There's all kinds of other ways to improve the mind, body, spirit. And one of the ways that I like is bioenergetics, which is physics. And people can literally say somebody's name that they love, mom, and you feel your whole system. Like there's a vibration of that love. You feel the vibration. So listing 3 things that you love out loud. Maggie, Mila, Claire, these are my daughters. I could cry. I'm so grateful. I don't care what's going on in the world. So that's one of the things I teach people. If you're feeling like food's not working for you, if you're feeling like your own body's failing you, focus on gratitude.
I love it.
I cannot agree more with you guys. I think one of the other big things that I've seen is our happiness has really gone down as our cell phone utilization has gone up, based on research and science. So one of the things I talk about is like take a break from technology and go back into nature. Put your phone on do not disturb. Also pay attention, like how do you feel after you get off Instagram? How do you feel after you get off reading the news? Those are your triggers, right? And they're right here in our pocket and they're so accessible. And I just encourage, I like live on do not disturb for a lot of my day. So I really think that this is, it's not in my hand, but pretend it is. I think it is leading to a lot of our unhappiness and hindering our healing.
Do that while you can before you have teenagers, when you live like waiting to hear from them constantly.
I know. Well, my husband, he like has his phone on all the time and he's the point of contact.
Yes.
And the school still calls me because I'm the mom, but he's the point of contact on every like everywhere.
That's
I'm like,
so
again,
funny.
you call my husband.
Have you seen that comedian? I forget which one it was, but he was like, okay, I'll come get them. What school are they at again?
That's literally me.
So
yeah.
funny.
That's literally me. Like,
Where do I go?
Yeah.
That is so
I stopped taking my daughter to the doctor for that exact reason. It's like, I'm just gonna call her mom. I don't know if she needs a shot or not. Just,
I'm gonna put you on
her. Yeah,
speaker.
I'm gonna FaceTime her real quick. You guys talk. I'm just here. That is so good, man. Unfortunately, our time is winding down, and I love your point because I'm a self-addicted cell phone person. I get in trouble from Terry because I never answer because I just put my phone do not disturb. Because if it goes off, I go down a rabbit hole. So I'll check it, I'll reply, and then I'm checking email, then I'm on Instagram, then I'm literally 10, 15 minutes every time I pick up my phone. So I'm literally always on do not disturb because of that. Before we get out of here though, really quickly, I would love for each of you again to kind of tell us who you are and plug whatever it is you have going on, whether that's a book, whether that's a new location, whether that's a new product, whatever it is. I would like to go around the room and just make sure you guys get that out for our audience.
So Kristen Oja, my website is kristenoja.com. Our business website is statwellness.com. We are growing. We're looking at Charlotte coming and Birmingham in the next year or two. So stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram or whatever platform you follow. And
What
then
is
if
your
you're
Instagram?
It's at Kristen Oja, DNP,
Okay.
Doctor of Nursing Practice. And
There
if
you
you
go.
guys are really interested in these topics, my podcast is the Little by Podcast, which is obviously a free source of information based on little by little becomes a lot.
I love that.
Kara Clark, you can find me at karaclarknutrition.com, Instagram. All the social medias are the same. My latest book is Feel Good Way.
Love it. Lanisa Williams, Total
Well, I got
Package
3
Health.
books. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
Total
I'm sorry. Go
Package.
ahead.
I like to start with Total Package. I really do. And I start there because, again, it's customized. I can see at the cellular level what's happening with you. So if you're in the Memphis market, please, we are off of Yale Road as well as in the off of New Horn Lake in Whitehaven. We also have a facility in Nashville, Tennessee that is located off of Murfreesboro Pike in Antioch. So you could get us on website at totalpackagehealth.com, and that kind of gives you an overview of who I am and what I do at the cellular level. But at the mind, body, and soul level, this one right
Yeah.
here. And guys, I tell you, I love everything that we're doing up here, but I will also tell everyone, you have to change the mindset. The mindset goes internally. This mind tells this mind what to do, and they work interchangeably. I do have a book that is called Over 40 Stuck in a Fat Body,
Yeah.
my latest book. And it's truly, people laugh because when they get this, they think they've got a diet coming with it. And it's not a diet, it's a detox of a mind. So this is one of my prayer and journaling.
Aww.
Prayer and journaling. 28 days to prayer and journaling. Again, the triggers in 28 days, everyone thinks they can change a habit. Really, it takes 96 to 126 days to change a habit. But if you pair it with a little bit some information on videos to watch, documentaries to watch, as well as journaling, you've got a better chance of sticking to the program.
Man, I love that so much. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your time and all of the information. Unfortunately, it went by way too fast. Too many smart people in the room. We could have stayed here for another hour and a half, probably. I'm your host, Jarrell Webb. I'll see you guys next time you press play. Thank you again for watching.